Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Newsroom Series. I'm Olumide Macaulay. Thank you so much for joining us as we take you through our stories from the Southwest region. However, we begin our headlines in the South-South. The Supreme Court has upheld the power of the president to declare a state of emergency in any state to prevent a breakdown of law and order generation into a state of chaos or anarchy. Now, in a split decision of 6-1, the Apex Court held that the president, during a state of emergency, can suspend elected officials, but that such suspension of elected officials must be within a limited period. In the lead majority judgments, Justice Mohammed Idris held that Section 305 of the Constitution empowers the president to deploy extraordinary measures to restore normalcy where emergency rule is declared. Justice Idris noted that Section 305 is not specific on the nature of the extraordinary measures, thereby granting the president the discretion on how to go about it. The judgment was on the suit filed by Adamowa and 10 other People's Democratic Party-led states challenging the propriety of the state of emergency declared by President Tinubu in Rivers State, during which elected states officials were suspended for 6 months. Justice Idris, in the earlier part of the judgment, upheld the preliminary objections raised by the two defendants against the competence of the suit. In upholding the objections raised by the Attorney General of the Federation and the National Assembly, he held that the plaintiffs failed to establish any cause of action capable of activating the original jurisdiction of the Apex Court. He struck out the suit for want of jurisdiction, proceeded to also determine the case on merit, and dismissed it. However, Justice Obande Ogwinya dissented and held that the case succeeded in part. To security in Kogi State, bandits numbering over 50 invaded an Ekwa church in Ayetoro Kiri Kaba Bunu local government area during the church service on Sunday, firing sporadically, killing one person and abducting around 30 worshippers, including children and a pregnant woman or women. The attack on Ayetoro Kiri Church marks the second incident in that community, as bandits have recently invaded the area, abducting 50 people and carting away dozens of phones from a charging center. Also, terror struck the Okeagi and Elai community within the Mokwamoro local government area of Kogi State, as armed bandits launched simultaneous attacks, leaving behind a trail of destruction. Eyewitness reports indicate that the attackers targeted two specific locations almost concurrently, conducting the operations with apparent impunity for over 1 hour. Traditional leaders and local officials, including the chairman of the local government area, Adamu Bello, confirmed the violence, expressing deep concern over the lack of timely intervention from security forces. Ejigbo local government area of Lagos State has marked the first 100 days of the Renewed Hope initiative, with the commissioning of several infrastructure projects as well as social development projects executed by the chairman, Mr. Tawheed Taiwo. Now, the wife of the Lagos State Governor, Dr. Abijoke Sanwo-Olu, who inaugurated the projects alongside other leaders, commended the council chairman for developing the area and also delivering on the responsibility assigned to them by the people.
Wife of the Lagos State Governor, Dr. Abijoke Sanwo-Olu, Deputy Governor's wife, Oluremi Hamzat, lawmakers and other dignitaries joined the chairman of Ejigbo Local Council Development Area to commission projects delivered by the chairman within his first 100 days in office. And the man in the spotlight highlights some of the projects completed in different sectors.
On infrastructural development, in just 100 days, we have taken bold steps to transform the infrastructural landscape of Ejigbo. Key road projects have been completed, including the full construction of roads with interlocking paving stones at Ilamoshe Road. Significant progress has also been made in improving drainages and water management through the construction of culverts at Folaruwa Street, opposite Ilewe,
Dr. Sanwo-Olu applauds the council chairman for aligning with state government priorities.
In 100 days, he has carved out his own job description and his KPIs, following the footsteps of our leader, our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The chairman cannot do the work alone. So definitely it's a teamwork. We are going to make sure that you take care of all the things that he has embarked upon. The roads that they have done, as a medical doctor, I cannot but mention that when it comes to health, and my brother here has been supporting the health sector, on behalf of all the health family, we say thank you. More medical outreaches, making sure that the health status of our people is top-notch at all times.
The government then asks residents to support the authority at the local government level.
Within 100 days, seeing what he has done, what gladdens my heart most is his compassion, his passion in the area of health and environment. My advice to the residents of GBV today is that they should continue cooperating with the chairman, with the administration of the chairman. They should continue paying their dues as at when due. Ali, by supporting him, praying for him, he will do more.
Projects inaugurated include solarized Tennis Club Road, solarized Moshalashin Street, Ejigbo LCDA Secretariat, waste compactor truck, new ambulance bus, Jakande Security House, among others, all geared towards delivering dividends of democracy to the people of Ejigbo, local council development area of Lagos State.
The Lagos State Water Regulatory Commission has given an assurance that water produced for consumption in Lagos by the private and public sector entities meets the best standard. This assurance is coming from the Executive Secretary of LASARCO, Mrs. Khadija Adeyemo, a few days after the commissioning of the rehabilitated Akilo 1 million gallon per day water facility in Ogba, Lagos. According to a statement released by LASARCO, the commission will continue to provide regulatory oversight, certifying that the water produced by the Lagos Water Corporation meets the required standards for potable water. Mrs. Adeyemo says the Lagos State Water Regulatory Commission will continue to make sure the water consumed by Lagosians is healthy and safe for human consumption. The Ogun State government says it has recorded about 502 cases of gender-based violence this year. This includes sexual assault, domestic abuse, digital harassment, amongst others. State Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Adija Tadele, reveals this at a press conference marking activities commemorating the year's 16 days of activism against gender-based violence in Abeokuta, the state capital. She emphasized the urgent need for stronger legal frameworks and coordinated action from all stakeholders to protect survivors and hold perpetrators accountable.
The advocacy walk for the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence is to create the much-needed awareness, understanding and support of the general populace against abuse, especially digital violence, which refers to harmful acts carried out using digital technologies and platforms such as the internet, social media and mobile phones, with the intent to disturb, injure, humiliate or cause damage to another person. Wife of the state governor, Dr. Bamidele Abiodun, leads the walk through the popular Kuto Market to the state deputy governor's office located at the state secretariat. With growing concerns about violence against women and girls, Mrs. Abiodun makes a passionate appeal that everyone must stand up against it and demand strict laws against perpetrators.
We must continue to enforce laws that protect every woman and girl online. And while we continue advocacy in the digital arena, we should not forget that many women and girls still undergo physical violence and abuse every day. We must protect the most vulnerable amongst us, especially our children, people living with disabilities, from predators and those who might want to take advantage of them, and subject them to their heinous acts.
Receiving Mrs. Abiodun and her entourage after the advocacy walk, the Deputy Governor, Noimot Salako-Oyedele, calls for the strengthening of the national judicial system to deal with emerging threats.
Punishment is the greatest deterrent for crime. No matter what we say and what we do, if people in the community see offenders are getting away scot-free, then there is no disincentive for them to also perpetrate those crimes. And of course, the people that have been caught will reoffend. So we have to work very hard with our justice system to make sure that we can carry all these prosecutions to successful completion.
The anti-abuse campaigners settled down to a press briefing after the walk, where the State Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development gives more details about the growing number of reported cases, which hit 502 in 2025. She calls on critical stakeholders to raise their voices against the menace.
We have strengthened our support systems, expanded prevention, and enhanced mechanisms for reporting and responding to both physical and digital abuse. Our message is simple and unwavering. No woman or girl in Ogun State should ever suffer in silence, either online or offline.
4 assault referral centers have been provided across the 4 zones of the state as part of measures to give victims the support that they need to survive.
Now, as Nigeria's aviation sector pushes for growth and private investment, concern remains over the welfare of aviation workers and what it means for safety in the skies. From unpaid entitlements and lingering labor disputes to their impact on operational standards, experts warn that workers' welfare remains a critical link in the aviation safety chain.
In aviation, safety is only as strong as the people who keep the system running. Experts say workers' welfare is a critical link in the overall safety chain of the industry, citing the obvious advantages.
There will be improved safety and security. In other words, every workforce will engage and will be motivated to guarantee safe and security of the environment, so we can prevent unlawful interference to our industry and to civil aviation in particular.
From pilots and engineers to air traffic controllers, industry professionals warn that delayed remuneration and poor working conditions can directly affect alertness and compliance with safety procedures. They point to the experience of workers from the defunct Nigerian Airways, many of whom are still owed salaries and entitlement years after the airline's collapse.
But just remember that any nation that neglects its veterans and older people may find it difficult to prosper, because we are nearer God than you are. Some of us have even got our boarding passes. We're only just waiting for the call.
The most unfortunate aspect of this, those workers from outside Nigeria, that is the foreign workers, have been paid up. Why should we be so unfair to our own citizens? And you talk about patriotism. How will you get patriotism when I feel that I'm not being treated fair? But kudos to the president, who has even thought it wise to even approve this final payment. So we must fish out who are those who are stopping this payment.
A union leader says such unresolved labor issues erode trust and undermine the safety culture in the industry, and this is one of the factors stalling the planned concession of airports.
The issue of airport concessioning is very simple. According to ASEA's Act, that you must take care of the labor issues. And those labor issues have not been taken care of. And until the labor issues are discussed and agreed and signed off, the concession is still where it is.
Stakeholders argue that sustainable reforms in Nigeria's aviation sector must prioritize workers' welfare, not just infrastructure, to ensure safe, efficient, and reliable air travel. Bukola Joe Oketumbi, Channels Television News.
To security, the Ibadan branch of the NBA, Nigerian Bar Association, has raised concern over the rising cases of kidnapping in parts of Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. The association urges Governor Seyi Makinde and heads of security agencies to work together effectively to confront what has been described as a growing threat to public safety. The chairman of the branch, Mr. Ibrahim Lawal, raised the alarm at a media briefing on the activities marking the 2025 legal week. According to him, the recent abductions had dented the safe space in Oyo State, known for this, and has called for concerted efforts amongst all stakeholders to arrest the situation as it demands urgent action.
The governor, together with the security chiefs in the state, must sit down and look at the best way to confront this hydra-headed monster called insecurity. It is getting very close to us. In fact, the kidnap of that lady had shown to us that nobody is safe in Oyo State. If somebody can be kidnapped in front of a house, then something must be wrong somewhere. So there is need for His Excellency Engineer Seyi Makinde to take a costly look, another look at the security architecture in Oyo State. It is very important. And also the Commissioner of Police, newly posted Commissioner of Police, must sit down and also rejig the security architecture of the state. The head of DSS and what have you, they must sit down. This thing must not continue. We must make sure that lives and properties of citizens of Oyo State is safe.
The Commissioner of Police in Ondo State, Adebowale Lawal, has called for more collaboration of members of the public with the police to provide adequate security for their lives and property. The police boss made the declaration in an interview with Channels Television at the Metro Area Headquarters of the NPF in Akure, the state capital. Mr. Lawal says he was at the station to commission the newly renovated area office, courtesy of the Police Community Relations Committee.
This is the newly renovated Metro Area Office headquarters of the Ondo State Command in Akure, the state capital. The renovation was carried out courtesy of the Police Community Relations Committee. The area office, which used to house the Ondo State Police Command headquarters, had been in bad shape for a long time, which prompted the leadership of the Police Community Relations Committee to come in to salvage the situation. The renovation included re-roofing the entire building, changing the internal structures, and painting. Commissioner of Police Adebowale Lawal gives kudos to the PCRC and the government for the intervention.
It's a laudable one. We want to thank the group of Ondo State, especially those who reside within the metro and the friends of police who have made this possible. You know, it goes to show that we've been accepted, we are trusted, we are tested and trusted. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought out their money to assist us in carrying out the renovation.
In a separate interview, Chairman of the PCRC, Enya Yomo, and the Area Commander, Kabir Akinroye, narrate how bad the situation was before the renovation.
During maybe February this year, the roof was off, and the Area Commander called me as the Chairman of Metro Area Command, that Chairman Komo, what can you do for us to assist so that this thing we put in a new shape? I said, okay, I will try my best. And by the grace of God, I'm with this area command throughout the renovation, everything, my assistance that I can render, then some of the people in Akure town, then we try our best. That is why we put this building on this shape today.
5 years consecutively. When the rain removes it, they will come back, renovate, but just patch kind of work. So when I came on board, the same thing happens in the month of April, to the essence that the office was engulfed with water dripping from the roof. So the situation that we need to even get a canoe to be able to paddle ourselves around the office. But we thank God, we had meetings, series of meetings with security stakeholders in town who came together to to assist in the renovation effort.
Officers and men at the area office headquarters are now able to operate in a conducive environment, which will help them function optimally, offering them much-needed help to residents within their jurisdiction.
From security to politics, Governor Ademola Adeleke of Osun State has reaffirmed the full determination of Osun people to defeat the APC in the 2026 polls, declaring unequivocally that he will beat the APC candidate. The governor describes the APC's quest for victory as wishful thinking and a failure to accept the deep level of unpopularity of the APC amongst the people of Osun State. The governor, who boasted of a mass movement behind his re-election bid, mocked the minister and the APC for embarking on anti-democratic activities instead of marketing themselves to the people and potential voters. Meanwhile, the leadership of the APC in Ifelodun and other areas has pledged to deliver massive votes for the party in the 2026 Osun governorship election. They gave the assurance during empowerment program for party members across 38 wards in the federal constituency held at the party secretariat. Over 100 residents of the communities benefited from cash gifts and deep freezers facilitated by a foundation aimed at strengthening grassroots support and party structure ahead of the 2026 governorship election. A chieftain of the federal constituency says the constituency has welcomed the fresh hands and formidable politicians into the APC fold, urging party members to cooperate and resolve grievances amicably to strengthen the party. The empowerment initiative was designed to appreciate members, urging the beneficiaries to make judicious use of the items.
Hereby confirm Bola Oyebaji as the sole candidate of APC 2024. APC is a party of orderliness, a party that is well organized, and at the same time thank our president, our father, who made this successful. I want to say a very big thank you to our president.
I'm honored to stand before you this afternoon to accept this nomination as the candidate of the All Progressive Congress APC for the Osun State governorship election to be held on 8 August 2026.
The Lagos State Health Management Agency has introduced 2 new health insurance packages targeted at Nigerians abroad and visitors coming into the state, marking a major expansion of its Ilera Eko diaspora offering. The Permanent Secretary of LASHMA, Dr. Emanuela Zamba, who was speaking at the 2025 fourth quarter media parley, says the new plans, Ilera Eko Waka Well and Ilera Eko Home Connect, are designed in response to rising demand from diasporans and the growing need to protect residents and visitors under Lagos State's mandatory health insurance framework. Also speaking, the Senior Special Assistant on Diaspora and Foreign Relations, Mr. Jermaine Sanwo-Olu, commended LASHMA for what he described as groundbreaking innovation in the African health insurance ecosystem.
As part of our commitment to ensuring that health insurance becomes a culture rather than an afterthought, we are intentionally designing initiatives that will help young people understand and embrace the value of social health insurance from an early age. Our goal is to catch them young so that by the time they attain full adulthood, begin their careers and start their own families, health insurance would already be a natural and integral part of their lives. We have decided to rebrand our diaspora plan to better serve our clients in the diaspora. I must add that LASHMA is not doing this alone. We have partnered with the private sector to achieve this milestone, and we are collaborating with them to market these products so that LASHMA can fully achieve their objectives.
The Ilera Eko Diaspora Plan is one of a kind. In Africa, I dare say, in the world, addressing a particular need, the need to take care of the diasporans' peculiar needs. So I say thank you on behalf of all the diasporans. This plan, with a very, very reasonable amount of money, is able to cater for diaspora's beneficiaries. So gone are the days of them saying, oh, mommy, please send me money for malaria medicine to go to hospital and all that. This plan takes care of it. And the innovative and dexterous approach that the PS has done is that they've now separated it from the previously branded diaspora plan to now the Waka Well plan and also the Home Connect plan.
And that's it on Newsroom series today. Thank you for watching. I'm Olumide Macaulay.